happening, I think.
Well, it's about time.
I gasped watching the finale last night. Wow.
Yeah.
We have seen Angie at both her highest and lowest this season, from marrying Seth to losing him so suddenly.
Angie, I'm dying over here.
What has it been like for you to play those extremes, especially for a character who's used to bracing for the worst?
Oh yeah. I think it when things were getting really good, Angie actually tried to shut down that part of herself that was suspicious of it, ironically. So I think she was even more blindsided because you're right, she's used to being blindsided by life. She's used to seeing the worst in people, and she really allowed herself to believe in this thing. She really allowed herself to start a completely new chapter in her life. A huge part of her identity had been her baggage and her willingness to own it, and that being the driving force behind her purpose of wanting to help other people in perilous situations and had no one to advocate for them. And so being really present with who she is and this kind of hopeful moment, this opportunity for redemption of raising a girl in a loving home, being a good mother the way that she didn't have. All of that was so hopeful, and I think she really allowed herself to believe that this is her life now. It's it's one of those things that the writers, once they made this decision, had to deal with. How do we even move forward from here? And what does that look like on a television show timeline? And how do we give this character some time to grieve and everything? And I think that it was handled really beautifully, where the parts of her grief and recovery that we see, we just get a little glimpse inside what's happening there. And a little bit, from Will's outside point of view, as close as he is, he's not in there. He's really giving her, he's supporting her in the only way that he knows how and giving her some space. And oh, I know it's gonna be so hard on the fans, because Seth is amazing, and even the everyone that was like naysaying the relationship from the beginning, he's won them over. It's really rough, and Scott's amazing, but I could go on and on. But to use Scott Foley's words, the show is called Will Trent. So
She said yes.
I couldn't help but think about the contrast between the season 2 montage where Will imagined this future he was giving up with Angie, and then this finale montage where he steps in to help raise Edie while Angie heals. Romantically linked or not, do you see this experience leading them towards some form of co-parenting moving forward?
I would say that's a safe assumption. Yeah. They have always and only had each other to count on in their lives. Other romantic relationships aside, as much as they have been lovers, they have been family.
He's my family.
That makes sense to me. It makes sense the way that I don't think that they would, from where we leave them, having him stepped in to help Angie and Edie. I don't think they distance themselves from each other after that. I think what he did for her is incredible. What he did for them is incredible, and they probably will continue on in that fashion, if not closer. We'll have to see. I don't know.
When Angie finally picks up Edie, it feels like a turning point, like she's choosing to stay present. Do you think Angie would have processed Seth's death differently if she didn't have Edie in her life?
Absolutely. That's an amazing question. People tend to step up when there's someone else they have to be there for, and becoming a parent can really change people.
You trust me to take care of her?
And having that to hang on to, knowing that she has to get through this, and she can't fall off the wagon, like that's not an available solution to how to make it through this.
You are not that person anymore.
As disconnected as she feels at the beginning, I think that knowing that she's there really helps to draw her forward. Absolutely.
That part of me will always live inside you.
We've talked before about Angie wanting to break the cycle of how she was raised. Does becoming a mother under these particular circumstances, and also probably wanting to honor Seth, deepen that drive for her?
Absolutely. It's kind of it's more real than ever, because it was this idyllic moment of, if she had parents, they would be like, marry a doctor. He's a doctor and he's so incredibly supportive and amazing. And this relationship just blossomed in this really organic way. And it was all going to be the closest thing that she ever would have experienced to easy. So for her to stick to her plan, which is just to love this person and be there for her and show her real love, it makes her overall situation harder. But I think in a way it makes perfect sense that, the foundation of their whole lives, not just their relationship, but their whole lives, will be her love for her daughter. It becomes the thing that Angie can hold on to and the thing that her daughter can hold on to. Surely Will be a big force in both of their lives, but it makes this bond between mother and daughter even more special and even more important.
And lastly, the finale sets up a joint task force between APD and GBI to take down a sex trafficking ring, a case I imagine would hit especially hard for Angie, given her history of childhood sexual abuse. What excites you most about exploring that storyline next year?
We've never really seen the feminine energy aligned, and Faith is also incredibly emotionally invested. Her emotional investment kind of blindsided her. They had that conversation where Angie stayed late at work to help Faith identify the missing girl.
This one's getting in my bones, Angie.
I get it.
So to see these kind of mama bears team up, it's super exciting. I am so interested to see how this whole paradigm shift affects the show. Obviously, there will be a new deputy director of the GBI. I don't know what that relationship is going to look like. And then Will and Ormwood have an amazing dynamic. I'm going to miss the Angie and Ormwood dynamic. We'll see how much we get of that. But I'm really excited to see Angie and Faith tap into their strength and to direct their passion jointly and really dig in. I don't know. It's such a heavy and relevant now, especially, and hopefully not eternally, but certainly, like, as far as humanity has thus far proven, it's a relevant problem. I don't know how much they can win this war, but they have to take what wins they can get. So I'm excited to see what they can do, what headway they can make. Because Atlanta being such a travel hub genuinely has a big problem.
Erika, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for doing this.
It is. Thanks so much always for your insight. Always a pleasure.